Okay, you beautiful people, this is all you're gonna need. Whatever beads you like. I suggest you just get a bunch of beads that make a color pattern that makes you happy. That's it, that's all. And then these are cold colors mostly, silvers, pinks, purples, and blues. Green can go either way. It could be a warm or a cold color, but so cold colors I usually use silver with, but if you have some warm colors like reds and earth tones and whatever, you can use copper. You know, whatever wire feels good to go with the colors. But 20 gauge is what you want. I don't know why I have no 20 gauge silver today. I know why, because I'm disorganized, but I have 22 gauge and 18 gauge, which are the thicker and thinner wire on either side of 20. So I'm gonna use it as needed and show you guys. And you should get these three basic tools: your needle nose pliers, your round nose pliers, and cutters. And that's it. I don't care if you use, I have really good ones, but I'm just gonna use these cheapy ones. These, you could get this whole pack from Walmart for $8. That's it. It's like the best deal ever if you're starting out. So you're really only gonna need 2 earring hooks and 2 jump rings. That's it. This whole thing just requires 2 jump rings. These are 6mm jump rings, kind of a medium size. You can, if you have a different size, it'll work. Okay, so what we're gonna do is take your beads and lay them out on some felt or material. I should really get some. Let me see if I can find some. There, that's better. Let's found some kind of black pillowcase or something. So take your beads out and just kind of move them around and try to find patterns that you like, because you're gonna make some little stacks. So do that. There you go. Now, what do you notice about these? They're different lengths, different sizes. They're all kind of mixed up, but I feel good about how the colors look together, and that's all that matters. This is purple agate. This is rose quartz. This is some kind of dyed pink jasper and probably some kind of dyed blue howlite. This is some kind of blue seashell composite. This, I believe, is jade. This is a ceramic piece that's with melted black and blue glass. This is malachite and more jade. And this is some kind of blue seashell. This is more rose quartz. And these are the same as those. They're pink agate, I think, or jasper. In any case, stop rolling, you stay right there. So this is what we're gonna do. Basically, there's 2 ways to do it. You put the wire through it and you make a loop in a loop. If you're gonna do that, you want your loops to be strong. If you can fit it, I would do your 18 gauge. Now, if you have a thinner gauge, no problem. You wanna do a loop in a loop, but you leave a length on one end and you wrap it around and around and around the beads. That will make your links tighter, because that extra wrap will hold on to, it'll strengthen each of the little loops. So because you're using a thinner gauge, you want that, so they'll be stronger. Now, if you have 20 gauge, your links will probably be strong enough either way if you make your loops nice and tight. So that's why 20 gauge is optimal, but I'm using 1822 because before stated reasons. Now, so these literally could be 4 pairs of earrings. And if you want that, you know, people like simple stuff. 4 pairs of earrings, knock it out. But I'm gonna show you, put these 4 together and you make one crazy chandelier pair of earrings that's just super fun, and it's all the rage, and all the young people are like, whoa, that is like the most amazing earrings ever. And if you're wearing them, they'll probably be invited to all the parties, and your status in the neighborhood will like go through the roof. You might meet a couple celebrities by the end of the month. I'm not promising, but really good chance. So let's do this. To do the simple one, let's do the simple one first. It's 18 gauge. You're only gonna need about enough to get through your beads, and then enough to make 2 loops, and then give yourself like another inch just to mess up, because that's just what happens in life. So this is like maybe 4 inches, and put them through. Now first, the tiny beads, you wanna make sure it'll fit. And whoops, didn't check. So that one's not gonna fit. So let's see, maybe we can do it with this one. Let's check all our beads first. Let's see. 18, oh, this 18 gauge isn't liking any of these. Well, 22 it is. We'll just make really tight loops, and we'll show you guys. You can make it work with 22. But you're gonna give yourself more wire now, because you need like another 2 inches to wrap around. So to be on the safe side, let's say this is about 6.5 inches. So put your beads on. Also, if you're ordering beads online, it's good to know this is 8mm. This is what's known as just a chip. This is 6mm and 4mm. 8, 6, and 4 are the most common sizes that I use for like a bazillion things. So if you want to be like me, and be really popular, you can do that too. I won't be mad if you steal my style. So go right here. Give yourself, let's see if this camera can focus. Give yourself like, come on camera, I believe in you. Okay, give yourself like a little less than half an inch. Do a right angle and then grab it about right there on the round nose and roll it backwards. And then don't roll it the whole way in one shot. You're gonna hurt your wrist. Readjust, readjust. Now grab it on the tiniest little ones and pull it really tight. And you wanna get that loop super tight. So you can come in here and kind of adjust it a little bit with your flat nose and squeeze it here, make sure it's together, and try to get your loop really, 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 really good looking. And then press the beads tight against it. Pull them tight, tight, make sure they're straight. Hold it tight like this, make another right angle. This time, we're not gonna cut the wire. We're gonna hold it again about a third of the way up. And we're gonna wrap around our round nose pliers and then roll into it until it's about the same size as that and it feels tight. You don't want these beads to be moving up and down. So I'm gonna roll it a little tighter until they're like barely moving. They can spin, but they shouldn't be moving up and down. And now holding it tight, still come around here once like that. Now to go diagonal, get inside the crevice of the bead, go diagonal, get inside the crevice of the bead, diagonal, crevice, diagonal, until you come to the last loop. And then come around like that. And you can actually wrap it a couple times if you want to, but one time should be okay. Cut it right in there, like give yourself just enough. These cutters are kind of weak. That's what you get for buying Walmart cutters. I don't know who would tell you to buy Walmart cutters, but anyway. And then just pinch this like that. And see how pretty that looks? Now, if it's bent a little bit, you can adjust it. You can like play with these little guys, try to get them as straight as you want, but I feel like that's really good. And having this little loop at the end, sometimes you can hang off a charm or more pieces or whatever. But that guy's done. I'll do one more to show you. Let's do these ones here. So again, I'm gonna take about 6.5 inches. And that left me with an inch to spare. So always want to err for having a little too much wire instead of too little bit. Because if you have too little bit, then you get to the end of your piece and you don't have enough to finish. You have to start all over. It's like, oh. And then you usually are like, oh, I think I'll take up another hobby that has nothing to do with jewelry, like maybe stamp collecting. It's usually what happens when people get frustrated with jewelry making, they go right to stamp collecting, which I have nothing against stamp collecting. I think it's a very noble hobby. But anyway, again, this is about a little less than half an inch, a little less than a centimeter, and right angle. There we go. That's a nice focus. Thank you, camera. And grab it here and roll. Reposition, roll. And then get it down to the tightest little part. Get it real tight and roll it in. Nice, nice loop there. See that? Press tight against the loop. Come to the other side. Right angle. Press it. Hold them very tight. Hold all the beads tight. Right angle. And then get your round nose in there about a third of the way up. And this time you can just hold it and you can take the wire and roll it around the pliers like that. And then see how it is like that? Now roll it in and then check it. Are they vibrating? Are they moving up and down? Or are they pretty tight? If you need to, roll it a little bit more and then hold. Now you're gonna come around once like this. Now go diagonal in the crevice, diagonal in the crevice, diagonal and around the loop. And see, aren't these colors so pretty? Like cotton candy. Makes you want to go to the fair and buy yourself some sugary treats. Let's get me some better cutters. Somebody sent me some beautiful cutters. And what am I doing? I'm using the cheapy ones. Because my beautiful cutters are in another box and I didn't want to take another like 3 seconds and find them. Because I had to start this video. You guys were waiting. I saw you getting all impatient there. Like, where's the video? Hello. You didn't know that I was like watching you in your home, but I was. Sometimes you look out the window and you see like, who's that watching in the window? Might be me. be a little scary, but I'm only here to show you how to do the jewelry, so don't be afraid. So I'm just adjusting this. Like sometimes you want the loop to face you with the diagonals facing you the same way. So you can adjust it like that, turn it if you need to, as much as you need to, okay? So now these guys are done. I'm gonna do the rest, and then we're gonna put them together, okay? So you go get your beads and start working on it while we're waiting. Something that should be noted, the part where you make the first little loop is gonna be the weaker part. The part where you make the loop that turns into a wraparound is gonna be the stronger loop. So you should put the stronger loop at the top where it's gonna attach to stuff and get pulled on, and the loop that might just hang by itself and might do nothing is where you should put the weaker loop. So in my case, I have the bigger beads on top, and then it goes gradually down. So I start with the littlest bead and I put the first loop there because that's the weaker loop. So I just want to let you guys know that because that's what I do, and you can do it too. 8 minutes later. Okay, so we got these all looking so pretty and cute. They are so pretty. Again, you could have 4 pairs of earrings, but we're gonna sacrifice having 4 pairs of earrings to make 1 pair of amazing earrings. So all you need to do is take your jump ring, open it up, and put all these babies on. Let's see, I might need a bigger jump ring than this. Let's see, take one of each. One of these, I'm gonna alternate because I have kind of the purple and pink, and then I have the blue and green. So I'm gonna do purple, pink, blue and green, purple, pink, blue and green. Whoops, sorry, I was doing that off camera. I don't know why. Let's do it again so you guys can see. Ready? 1, whoops, I'll alternate. 2, I'm also kind of going biggest to smallest, which I didn't plan. And these are gonna hang every which way, so there's really no plan. Like if you were actually to try to plan how you wanted them to hang, you would drive yourself crazy. So don't do that. Oh man, they just keep jumping off. Get back on there. Kind of angling it so they stay on. Stay on until I can grab my other pair of pliers. Ah, I tried to jump off again, but I caught him. Caught ya. Oh man, get in there. All right, I'm holding this tight and I'm coming in with the pliers and you guys are stuck now. I gotcha. Ooh. Oh yeah, close them up. Close up that jump ring. Bam. Now, see that? Because I use a tiny jump ring, they're sticking out every which way, like craziness. They're not hanging straight down. They're like sticking out like, wow. Now that's kind of cool if you want that. If you want that, that's awesome. I wanted that, but not quite this much. And this is a little crazy tight. So I'm gonna take this jump ring off and try an 8mm jump ring. It's just the next size up, but it makes a huge difference. And get my little jump ring wheel full of all different size jump rings. And let's try this. Okay, so this 8mm one, let's do this again. And 1, 2, much easier to put on. 3, 4. Now that is the proper amount of bounce I want to get. Now if you don't want them to stick out and bounce like this, you can hang them from individual jump rings, hang them at different lengths. You can have them, you know, staggered. Like you could have one big jump ring going to the hook, and then you can have other jump rings leading to each set of links. And, you know, experiment, have fun with it. You might find, oh, that looks cool, but that looks cooler, but that looks even cooler, right? But these are just wacky wild, and they're gonna flail out and bounce all over the place when the person wears them. So, right? Amazing, right? Yes, yes, amazing. Thank you. Wow!